In this second video, our interview with Mauro and Juliana keeps going, but this time I ask questions more specifically about their project. How did they decide to create a community? Where does that come from? Where is it today and where is it headed? What are the core aspects of such an initiative? Is it a credible lifestyle? Is it a credible project? So this is what I wanted to explore with them more closely today. Thank you, both of you, for again giving me this time and agreeing to go more in depth with me with my questions to what you try to do here. First, I have to say it's a very beautiful place. I will try to do a video with some content of the neighborhoods, but great weather, great mountains, great land and nature. It's very beautiful. So congratulations for this.
Thank you.
First.
Yes, I say and I repeat every day, we won the lottery when we found this place. It was very lucky of us to find it. And we have to say thank you every day for that. And I do.
Yeah, we will be back to it in just a few moments, but I've got some kind of process that I thought about for these interviews. Unusual kind, because I like to go in and I like when dogs don't bark during my videos.
It's because somebody's passing there.
Yes.
Then they go crazy.
So the first question I want to ask is the question that Albert Einstein asked when he was asked by a journalist to say what is the most important question according to him. This question is this a friendly universe? And I will not react to this question. You just say whatever you want, and then I will move to the other question.
Okay, do you want to start?
The question
Is this a
this
friendly universe?
universe?
Yes.
Well, it's too large to think that. We have a world that have many parts, so we can find a good place, a heaven in some parts, and other parts are a hell, really a hell. So maybe we have to try to find our heaven here and to make it bigger for other people to share this.
To fit in our heaven.
Yes.
I agree. We try to make it as friendly as possible around us. And this is a very important task, I think. But I do see parts of the world that are not friendly at all. This universe, those are the parts that, worry me a little.
Right.
But we try to focus on whatever we can do and what we can improve around us.
Right. Thank you for this first insight. Now more to the topic of this place. So what is this organization in your own words?
Okay, for me, we are trying to go as most natural and pure, or more how it should be, how we human beings should live, taking care of each other, caring for each other, nurturing each other, and taking care of the land, taking care of nature, taking care of the environment, and nurturing the environment. So this for me is the best way to live. I mean, you can live alone. I've lived alone, and it's fine, but it's not the best way you should live, or you could live.
I think the project has this sense, but also we need a juridical structure that is not in place yet. Up to the moment, we too are the owners of these lands.
Okay.
But we want to share this property with other people who have the same vision and share the property. So people would also also contribute for
They'll be
for,
owners
for
also.
this thing.
Yeah.
And to be open also for people maybe who cannot afford so much, but could join as well with his or her efforts to make this
Okay.
dream come
Come
true.
true.
And so, how do you call it? Is it an eco-villa, as we say in Portuguese, eco-village, or is it, I don't know.
Ah,
What name do you put on it?
we decided to call it a commune because in the ecovilla sometimes people still have very individual lives with a few part sharing. In an ecommune, we share the whole land. We don't have like private uh, pieces of the land. The only single private thing you would have is your inside your house. But I mean, all the land is supposed to be shared, and most of the day life would be shared also, the social activities and everything. So in some ecovillas people share sometimes a few meals, a few something, but the sharing is not as um, intense as we would think would be the best, especially regarding the land. Because if you like divide the land and you have this and this, then people would take care of their own part and not feel the whole, like to be really responsible for the whole and deciding about the whole land. So that's for us, it's a deeper sharing structure where we share more.
How did you come to create such a place?
That's a good question. I think I have dreamed about this place all my life, especially when I was young and I learned, as a child, I learned how the indigenous people shared everything in their tribes, and the kids were not somebody else's kid, they were everybody's kids, and everybody were taken care. Kids were never alone, kids were never mistreated, or because there was always a group of people caring for everything and caring for the land and caring for the food and caring for the sick. So for me, I heard about this and I dreamed that I could become an indigenous person and join a tribe, but of course I cannot. So I thought, could I create this place in the same, you know, but and for most of my life it was just a dream, and I never thought I could start to make it happen until the last few years.
And for me, I have also this sense of community as a goal a long time ago, and I tried a community in São Paulo where I lived. We have many friends making meetings together, talking a lot about life, about religion, about social work, and then politics also. And then we decided to to be together in a community. We find a beautiful place also near São Paulo, and we managed to build 6 houses there. And I lived there some years. Unfortunately, there were some problems that are due to differences between people and the goals. Exact goals. It's not easy to take everybody on board in the same direction. And then finally, I divorced it, so I left this community there. But after some years, I got back to the same idea, because like I'm stubborn. Yes, I decided that
Oh,
Good to
yes, you are.
acknowledge it.
this
Yes, you are.
this is a way I have to, I must pursue. I have to do this direction, maybe to learn from the mistakes we had before. So and try again, because you must try always when you believe in something. So here I am. I have good health, and I believe I can still work a lot here, and to be part of this dream is very good for me.
And what was the process to reach this stage?
It was slowly. First, we tried to enter a community that was already formed, and we visited many communities, and we tried different cities, different states.
But first we have to say that we met together in a group that was trying to form co-housing. Co-housing is a group of people that buy lands and have a common facility, a common central house.
Okay.
In some many houses up to 20 more or less, and to be to spend the final part of life together and
In a
taking
community.
yes, in a community. This was a community I also tried to believe and worked for 5 years there. And the final year, Juliana also went there. She liked the idea, but in the end, the goal of sustainability was not so. It was not the goal for this group. So I first left, and then Juliana left, and then as she strived to find a place where she could plant and do everything for sustainability, out-sustainability,
Self-sustainability.
self-sustainability. I liked the idea, and I proposed her to be partner in this process. So we began first as partners, and then start looking for some lands that could be a place for this dream.
Okay. And now it's barely 1 year old. Is that so?
Not even yet. Yeah, 1 year that we bought, but not 1 year that we've been here. We were busy, so we couldn't move. We bought and we took like 1 month and a half to move.
Yeah.
Soon will be 1 year.
So how do you see this community in the future? Like, let's say that all the tasks you are talking about are getting done. It's to reach what?
We aim to reach self-sustainability in all aspects that we can. So with the energy, electricity, with the water, with the heating, with the food, with everything.
That sounds very ambitious.
It is. It is. I know. And we decided we were so determined and strong and willing that we would do it even if we didn't have any help. So we started our task, me and him, and we worked every day, hours and hours, improving everything, fixing the problems, and starting vegetable gardens, fruits orchard, and the chicken place and the goat place, and just trying to do everything alone in the beginning, and it was overwhelming. And suddenly I remember seeing a video where they said self-sustainability is not attained by a couple. You need more people to do this. You need a group of people. I mean, I knew this, but we were doing what we could and with what we had. Sometimes we had help. Most of the time we were alone. And lately we have been having more and more help because through this partnership with Honeydew, we could post ads to call for volunteers. And with that, we've been having a lot more help. And
but so about self-sustainability itself, this is a interesting aspect. where are we now in terms of self-sustainability?
Good question.
And while you think about it, I check if it's still recording.
Okay.
It is still recording. We can keep going.
Okay. So we are, I would say, it will take us 2-3 more years to reach what we would like. What
Okay.
I believe it's like to get the most self-sustainability. We need to cover all aspects of our food, with grains, with roots, with fruits, with vegetables, with protein as eggs and milk, because we're vegetarians and but we eat fish and a little bit of milk, a little bit of eggs, but we prefer those to be raised by us with love for the animals, with respect for their needs, and not a huge exploitation. We need very little, and so we are getting goats and chickens to have this protein, cheese, and also all the rest. Mushrooms also, it's a very good source of protein. And we would have a complete balanced meal, harvest only with the property. We wouldn't need to go to buy other stuff. That's our goal.
Okay. How familiar were you with alternative communities before starting this?
That's a very good question. I was not familiar at all, except the ideas that I had about how the indigenous lived in tribes. Mostly was that. And I heard about Finhorn, and that was it.
Okay.
Like one single project way far away, very unachievable, very distant. And until I met I read some reports, some articles in newspapers about communities that were starting. And then I started dreaming about this.
I have visited many communities, even before the one we established in São Paulo, in Mogi das Cruzes. I tried to see many of them, and I'm also very fond of books talking about this, and so theoretically I heard a lot, but in practice it's different. It's not so easy. You have to find the right people to dream with together.
Yeah.
So we are here. We are calling people to share some moments, to see, to know each other, and to invite them to engage in this.
To become members of the
adventure.
association, yeah. Also to become members of the association
Yes.
we're starting, yeah.
But first to know.
Yeah, but I mean, to the end, that would be the end goal, I think, most of it. Besides giving people the chance to experience this kind of life in nature and see how they feel with themselves, how they feel with the contact with animals, with bugs and other, animals. And some people discover they are okay. Some people are afraid at the beginning, and then later they relax and they see the animals are no threat for us. But this it takes a while for some people. For some it's quicker, for some it's faster. But it's also a chance to let people experience this kind of life and see how much better they feel, because I think everybody feels better. I mean,
So there is a connection between this place and a community who first started in Italy called Honeydew Community. May I ask what is the nature of this link with this community?
The first couple that was here, that we met by chance.
we met through
In fact, they came to us searching the community. I was already out of them. The project that we
Co-housing project.
co-housing
Okay.
project.
So not not
the-
here, but the co-housing.
Yeah.
Yes, the co-housing that is in the city near here, that was not in place yet, but the couple find us through a directory, international in the internet. So,
Like him.
Yes.
The same place.
Like him, like you. And so then this couple had a connection with Benjamin from Italy that had this honeydew community, and we met through this unusual way.
Yes.
And then he was searching for some communities in Brazil also. So we start talking, and then he came here and made everything happen for the inauguration
No.
of this.
No.
There is a disagreement.
It is. Of course it is. Memories. We started talking to him because we were starting our community, and he was going to give us tips on how to organize the volunteers and the rules and everything.
Yeah.
And after he started talking to us and sharing his experience, his community was already more than 1 year old. He had a lot of volunteers. He had renovated some buildings, some rooms, some bungalows. And he said he would share his experience, what was working and what didn't work, so we wouldn't commit the same mistakes. And this started as this kind of partnership.
But his view was to create a network of eco-villages.
Okay.
So he saw us as an
You didn't say that in
opportunity.
the beginning. It was never this in the beginning.
Yes, there is a
Oh,
network, a honeydew network.
the network came later.
I don't know. This
You
is
think about now, but you need to think about 1 year ago. It was no network.
it's just a good intention.
No, it was exchanging of knowledge. It was also he looked for a place to do retreats. Don't you remember that?
Yes.
That was the main
Do
thing.
So
retreats.
what is it now?
Good question.
The relationship.
Yes.
Now it became a network, and we are sharing knowledge and mostly volunteers and experiences through this network. That's mostly what it's been.
All right. So there is a lot of interaction between you and other members of the Honeydew Community Network.
Yes, many volunteers from Italy have come here. A few of our volunteers have come there, and this exchange of volunteers is the main exchange we have nowadays.
Okay.
With also sharing of techniques and strategies they used that helped organize the place, helped organize the volunteers, helped organize the community space. They deal with more than 60 people. We deal with 10, 12 at the most. So they have much more experience than us on those things. The light went off. Maybe
Yeah.
the battery.
It's possible, but the recording is still going on.
Okay, good.
If
We
the
have
light is not
enough
here,
light. Yeah.
It's okay. So now more about the core aspects of your place here.
Okay.
How does your community, your place, sustain financially?
Up until now, we put money from our savings, and we worry because we won't be here forever. This community needs to last, so it needs to be self-sufficient also financially. So we produce food, and we try to produce it in excess, so we can sell the excess to make money to pay the bills that are not possible to get rid of, like internet or the taxes for the property, like government taxes and stuff. So those kind of, it's a small amount in the whole year, but the money needs to come from somewhere, someplace.
Yes.
And the idea here is that people who live here, they don't need to work elsewhere. They will get their um, their sustainability, their, I don't know the word, like they will live out of the land. They don't need to make money somewhere else. They will
Yeah.
make the production here, and with the exceeding production, they can sell and pay
Okay.
the small fees, small bills we would have. Mostly
Okay.
internet and land taxes.
Right. So the idea would be to have a surplus of production
Yes.
that could be sold.
Yeah.
Right.
To make money for, and this could be, for example, when we have so many goiabas, we can make a goiabada and sell. So you don't need to sell in nature. You can improve the product. Mushrooms, we eat some, we sell some. The milk, the cheese, the eggs, everything that we produce, we eat, and then we sell the what's exceeding.
Right. So that was for the economic part, and about the politics. What is the community governance?
It's we call it sociocracy.
Sociocracy. Yes.
Sociocracy. In Portuguese, it's sociocracia. It's
In French, it is a sociocracy.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good to know. There is no hierarchy. There's no boss. Everybody decides equally with the same amount of importance. But it's also not like in a democracy where you vote and the one that gets most vote is decided. No, in a sociocracy, we cannot decide by the majority. We need to decide by full agreement. So the base of this idea is that if we have the same goals, and the goal is for the good of the community, the good of the group, we will reach an agreement, bringing facts and bringing arguments and bringing information so everybody agrees on the decisions. It's not like a majority decides and a group isn't happy with the decision. We don't want that. So we don't need, people being unhappy or dissatisfied with the decisions. We need everybody believing in the choices and trusting the choices, taking part in the choices.
And which capacity, which number of people would reside in the community?
That's a very good question. We are not sure exactly about how much. We have a range, which less than this would be too little and more than this would be too much. And we have, based on things we've read and based on other experiences, less than 15 is too little. 15 houses I'm talking. And then in each house, it depends. Sometimes you have one person, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 people in a house, 6 people in a house, why not? A couple, a kids, a grandpa, a parent. So it depends, but we're thinking about around 15 houses, the minimum. And the maximum would be 25, 30, the maximum. And then the amount of people, it will depend on how those families are, how those houses are organized. If we have a lot of single people, then we have less people. If we have a lot of couples and big families, then we have more people. Also, a single person can move, build a house, and then later get married, and later bring kids, and then it will grow. It can grow. It can also shrink. A couple can, somebody older die, and then it's less people. So this movement of quantity of people, I think it will go in waves.
Right. So we come to a closure of our interview. I have one last question, and it will be the same way than the first question I asked, but this one, it's a famous mathematician called Alfred North Whitehead, who answered to the same question that was asked to Einstein. What is the most important question according to you? His question was, who is your God?
Interesting. That's a very good question.
My God is the understanding between people, among people, and the cooperation among people, and to grow the understanding, to grow the sharing, care among people, and make it life a good life to live. So work, good work, and happiness in this relationship. This is my God.
Very
Thank you,
good.
Mauro.
Yeah. Well, my God, ever since I was very little, has always been my inspiration to any moment I need to take a decision, to make a choice, to see how would it be the best way. I would always look at the nature and how things work without our interference. It's a magical organization. It's a magical thing which each part with their importance. Like each time I learn more about how nature and how plants and how animals interact, I am more and more in awe of how everything has its purpose, everything has its role, and how things work in a way that it's almost magical. I mean, it is magical. To think that you have like a land with less nitrogen, and then in this land, because it's poor in nitrogen, a plant that when it grows when it dies, it will fill the earth with nitrogen. What is that but magic happening right in your eyes, seeing the fixing and the correction of the mistakes, I would say, but it's not a mistake. It's of like faults happening right in front of your eyes. And if you don't interfere, if you don't take that plant out, you don't disturb the process. You can help the process by using all this knowledge and understanding how things work and making it work in a more smooth and maybe faster way, because we are in a hurry to try to fix the planet, or at least our environment here, make it as the best we could. So I always look at nature, and I always use it as my inspiration and as my guide to decide when I need to make a decision. It's been very interesting. It's very easy to use it as a, I mean, I have no question, I have no doubt. It's very clear. That's what I meant. It's very clear.
Perfect. Muito obrigado para estos
We thank
momentos.
you.
Era
Nós agradecemos.
muito interessante. So yeah, thank you for having me again for this interview and for this volunteering with you.
Okay.
And best of luck for your beautiful project.
Thank you. We thank you
very
for
much.
your help and for your interest. Yes.
Voila, this is it. So thanks again to Mauro and Juliana to have me here as a volunteer. Thanks for their time to realize this interview. Thanks to the dogs who are very noisy, but they are also very cute. Thanks to the other volunteers who are nice fellows. Thanks to you who watched this video. So what did you think about it? Do you think the project is relevant? Is it appealing, or on the other hand, does it raise doubts or concerns? I personally believe that there is a lot to say about it, so I will definitely do a feedback. Yeah, for the next time. Meanwhile, I wish you the best. This was Wanderer. Take care of yourself. Bye!